can dogs really be trained to use those little green mats, those pee mats, if you're not able to take them outside?
Absolutely. Pee pads are generally the same thing as those little artificial turf patches. I just found those a little bit unsavory because I did try that. And yeah, they use them just like the pee pads, but it was a little bit gross to me to have to dump the pee out of there after.
Welcome to CooLife Podcast, brought to you by therealthingdating.com. www.therealthingdating.com.
Polydor records for out scouting. This girl grabbed my bangs and ran my head right into the speaker.
Oh.
And everyone heard like this, yeah.
When we shot the scene in Good Will Hunting, I didn't know who most of these people were at the time. I mean, they weren't stars. It was Gus Van Sant that directed it. Gus Van Sant was on the floor with Matt Damon's character. I didn't even know who Matt Damon was at that time.
I'm Eva John. I'm a former candidate for local government. I was a children's television entertainer, and I love this world, and I believe we should take care of each other and have a lot of fun along the way. Welcome to CooLife. Here we go. And welcome to CooLife Podcast. I'm Eva John, and today we have a return visit with Don Drake, Veterinary Technician. Don, welcome.
Thank you, Eva.
It's great to have you back. There are just so many interesting subjects when it comes to pets, and so many different curiosities and issues that as pet owners we want to straighten out. And it's amazing to have the resource of a knowledgeable, experienced veterinary technician to really answer those questions. So I'm excited.
Thank you.
Now, I do want to say that as a pet owner, some of these issues I've encountered myself. Not all, but there's one that I think is always a concern of a pet owner. When a dog or a cat, starts going to the bathroom in the wrong places around the house. That's everybody's nightmares. Now, when that happens, is there a meaning, like if there isn't a health issue per se, is that pet trying to send you a message?
Yeah, it can be. If it's not medically related, you got to ask yourself a few questions. Has something changed in the environment? Has somebody new come into the household? Has somebody left the household? Have you moved to a new household? There's lots of reasons that cats can get anxiety and send you that message of going outside the box, just to let you know that, hey, something's just not right with me right now.
Now, if they are going to certain wrong places, should we read into that? Like if they decide that they're going to, say, go to the bathroom, say, in your favorite chair. And is that a real, do they use that as a way of being confrontational with you?
It depends. Sometimes that can be marking behavior, or it can be a medical condition. A lot of times, especially cats will alert you that, hey, something's going wrong with my bladder, just by simply going to the bathroom outside of the litter box. And unfortunately for a lot of pet owners, that happens to be on the favorite chair, on their pillow, in their bed. Just kind of something to tell you, hey, I'm not well right now.
Now, is it effective? Does it really work to get your pet's food dish and put that in the area where a pet has gone to the bathroom in the wrong place to discourage them from going to the bathroom there?
You know what? Some trainers will say that can be effective, but some cats will actually spray on their bowls in order to mark their bowls as their own. They'll spray in that area where their food is to say, hey, this is my food area. This is where I eat. So, in my opinion, I would say no on that one.
Okay. Well, because I get that. I never realized that a pet would spray in the area of their food just to be able to mark that as territorial, being their own. Interesting new lesson for me.
Absolutely. And that's another reason, especially for male cats, to neuter your cat.
Right. And with that, we'll take a break to talk about our sponsors and supporters. Please remember to write to us at info@CooLifeWorld.com. That's info@COOLIFEworld.com. And we'll read your comments on a future show. And in fact, today we have a comment. I guess I have an assistant. This comment comes in from Carrie. And Carrie writes, I really liked your pre-Oscar show. Do you always wear a bow tie for that show? I guess I do, because we've only done 2 pre-Oscar shows. We did one in season 2, and then we recently did one in season 3, which is still season 3. And I've worn a bow tie each time. My bow tie, the first time, was part of a penguin suit. And the second time was an actual standalone bow tie with some antique lace. And so Carrie goes on to say, I noticed after all of the music was done, at the end, you had an extra scene with you and John. I thought you were really funny. How long have you been in my house, Adrian Brody? I want some rent.
Yeah, exactly.
And I picked Honora for Best Actress. And of course, that's Mikey Madison, who played Honora in the film of the same title. And so Mikey Madison won the Oscar. And Carrie, you were right. So, and John was right too, right? I think that was John's prediction. And I'd like to say I was right too. I'm going to glom off of your success, Carrie, and your success, John. Really a good performance. So thank you very much for sending that comment. Much appreciated. And so if you'd like to also send your comments about the shows here at CooLife Podcast, please write info@CooLifeWorld.com and we'll read your comments on a future show. Right now, we'll take a break to talk about our sponsors and supporters. We'll be back with more Pet Talk with Don Drake on CooLife Podcast. Car reviews, safety tips, electric vehicle updates. The Driver Magazine online. www.thedriver.ca. The world's view of driving today. ringfitboxing.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is Stefan Boy. At Ringfit again, we're teaching real boxing. We're teaching techniques that I've used, that other boxers have used. We're teaching techniques that have been passed down to me from my trainer. If they've worked for me, they'll work for whomever. In fact, we've had actual competitive boxers from Ringfit, just whom started off taking classes and have competed and won.
Call 647-347-7063. ringfitboxing.com. Those lonely days of lockdowns and isolation are gone for good. Go to www.therealthingdating.com. That's www.therealthingdating.com. It's time to share. Share your time, share your life, share your love. www.therealthingdating.com. Join for free. Upgrade at any time, starting at just $5.99 a month. www.therealthingdating.com. Because it's time. You're listening to the CooLife Podcast. We'll be back in 3, 2, 1. And we are back on CooLife Podcast. I'm Eva John, continuing my conversation with Don Drake, Veterinary Technician. For training, when it comes to bathroom habits, can dogs really be trained to use those little green mats, those pee mats? And if you're not able to take them outside?
Absolutely. Myself, I have 3 little dogs, so I use pee pads. Pee pads are generally the same thing as those little artificial turf patches. I just found those a little bit unsavory because I did try that. And yeah, they use them just like the pee pads, but it was a little bit gross to me to have to dump the pee out of there after. So the pee pads will just absorb the pee. You wrap it up, throw it in the garbage, it's done. So if you can't be home all day, that's a great alternative to having your pet hold it.
So would that be like those blue and white puppy pads?
Absolutely.
They almost look like a hospital pad? Okay.
Yeah.
So they open up like yay big, meaning about like 2 feet by 2.5 or 3 feet, not quite poster size. So now how would you indicate to your pet, okay, this is a pee pad, pee on this pad and not on the rug beside it? Is there something that you can do to alert them to the purpose of that pee pad?
Yeah, kind of the same way you train them to go outside, to go to the bathroom. When they go to someplace inappropriately, you bring them to the pee pad, you tell them that's where they're supposed to go. And just by repetition, animals will learn by repetition. And as well as you bring a new animal into a dog situation like I just did. I just rescued a dog in October. And my other 2 kind of showed her what to do. So it was very seamless for me.
It's amazing if they're able to learn from each other and that the other pets are participating in the training.
Absolutely.
It's a lot like our children.
Right. Now, pee pads with a German Shepherd, that might be a little bit much, just because of the sheer velocity and stream that a large breed dog would put out. But larger breed dogs can actually hold their urine a lot longer than, say, a small breed dog would be able to be.
Okay. Well, that's a good piece of information to have. But I certainly understand now why it makes sense to, for some families to hire a dog walker who comes in when you know that you have long days away from the house and away from your pets. And it's not enough just to have toys, or not everybody in these times wants to have a doggy door. So if someone
absolutely,
giving them a chance to get out and get that walk. Are there certain behaviors that the human can do unknowingly, perhaps, that would make their pet lose respect for them, stop seeing them as an authority, and then start doing things like peeing on their favorite chair or on their rug?
Yeah, absolutely. Animals, we don't give them enough credit, honestly. And animals are way more forgiving than humans are to each other. But there is a line that a person will cross with an animal where they will lose their respect. And that's with, beating them, mistreating them, neglecting them. There's only so much an animal can take when they're being brutalized by somebody, and they lash out just like people do. So they would lose respect over time if you continually abused or neglected them, for sure.
Well, that's good to know. I mean, it sounds like common sense, but there are times when humans don't take into consideration that this furry creature is a person inside and that they have intellect and feelings and opinions.
They're family.
That's it. They are family, and they are intelligent, and they have feelings, and they experience things deeply as well.
Yeah.
And they know where you live. And with that, we're going to take a break to talk about our sponsors and supporters, and we'll be back with more Pet Talk with Don Drake on CooLife Podcast. Car reviews, safety tips, electric vehicle updates. The Driver Magazine online. www.thedriver.ca. The world's view of driving today. ringfitboxing.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is Stefan Boy. At RingFit again, we're teaching real boxing. We're teaching techniques that I've used, that other boxers have used. We're teaching techniques that have been passed down to me from my trainer. If they've worked for me, they'll work for whomever. In fact, we've had actual competitive boxers from RingFit, just whom started off taking classes and have competed and won.
Call 647-347-7063. ringfitboxing.com. Those lonely days of lockdowns and isolation are gone for good. Go to www.therealthingdating.com. That's www.therealthingdating.com. It's time to share. Share your time, share your life, share your love. www.therealthingdating.com. Join for free. Upgrade at any time, starting at just $5.99 a month. www.therealthingdating.com. Because it's time. This is CooLife Podcast. Please remember to subscribe to CooLife on your streaming service and on YouTube as Hellenique Today. That's HELENIQUE Today. Because that helps us to bring more cool stuff to your ears. You're listening to the CooLife Podcast. We'll be right back. And we are back on CooLife Podcast. I'm Eva John. We are continuing our conversation with Don Drake, Veterinary Technician. Now, Don, earlier we were talking about the pee pads and pet maps and so on. Now, you came up with a good solution for your dogs of using the pads more so than those green pee carpets that actually have to be emptied after. And I mean, that is an issue. There are a lot of families who use those. Now, is there a hygiene issue when you're using a tool like that as an option for your pet to go to the bathroom?
If you're using the patches that you do have to empty, that's kind of unsanitary. You have to make sure you have gloves on. And it's more of a risk to yourself, too, coming in contact with urine. They will sometimes go to the bathroom, have a bowel movement on the square as well, because they can't distinguish what is proper. If I can pee here, then I can have a bowel movement here. So then you have to worry about, cleaning that up properly and sanitizing that square patch that you're going to be continually using. So I would try to steer clear of something like that. If you are wanting an option, the pee pad is definitely more hygienic for yourselves and for your animal.
Because then it just gets wrapped up and thrown out in the garbage, and that's it. It's done.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, generally, people talk about dog owners, and they say how they're healthier because they have to go out with their dogs every day for a walk and they're getting fresh air. Now, if a dog owner gets to be in a position in their life where maybe even just for a period of time, they're not able to take their dogs out for that walk, does it affect your dog's health if they're not getting out for the walk every day?
It can affect their health, mainly with getting obese and all the problems that come with obesity. Just like for us, pets who get obese experience the same issues that humans experience, as well as mental stimulation, getting out of the house, having new experiences instead of just being cooped up in one environment. They're socializing perhaps with other animals, with other people. So it's good for their mental health as well as their physical health to get out of the house and go for that walk.
And that was our show. That's the end of part 1 of my conversation with Don Drake. Keep an eye out for part 2. Until next time, I'm Eva John for CooLife Podcast. Bye. And that was our show. Thank you for listening to the very end. Please remember to subscribe through your streaming service to get more access to our guest interviews. Also, please subscribe on YouTube to help support our podcast. Until next time, I'm Eva John for CooLife Podcast. Thank you for turning me on.